Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Business Talks. I am your host, Chawanne Burns. In today's episode, we are going to talk about Flint Council members. Okay, Flint Council members, they think they could do anything and spend the taxpayers' money freely. They think the federal dollars are their own personal bank, personal piggy bank. So we're going to discuss that. We're going to talk about Flint corruption. And we also are going to talk about the crisis that's happening throughout the country with Palestinian protests, I guess pro-Palestinian protests. Um, I don't think this is just students that's going around to these universities to doing this. Um, Violently attacking people. I think it's more to this. Okay. And so we'll talk about that on another episode of Business Talks.
Little something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bap. What? This is what you call a bap. Little something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bap. What? This is what you call a bap.
You guys put in the chat, let me know where you're viewing from. We have Noble Young in the building, Deborah Hill from Ohio, Kennard the DJ, what is good? Lexi, is good to see you again. Quincy Gray from DFW is what is good with you, and Laura Logan. Like I said, put in the chat, let me know where you're viewing from. Laura is viewing from Cincinnati, Ohio. And Kennard the DJ, Chicago. I should know that, Kennard. You say it all the time. And Orbs from Florida. Hello, everyone. So we're going to get right into it. Let's talk about Flint City Council. Okay, Flint City Council. I know we talked about Tiffany Henyard. I don't think Dalton has anything on Flint. This is my own personal opinion. It's not because I live in Michigan. I just think the information that I've gathered from Flint, Michigan, Tiffany ain't got bleep on the city of Flint. They're doing their residents so dirty. And as you have certain people that are putting up the good fight for or sticking up for the residents, but then you have this. I'm calling them, I gave them a name, Notorious Five council members, that they're all for themselves. One in particular, we're going to focus our talk on today. His name is Quincy Murphy. Quincy Murphy, he received some money from a development company called Ashley Capital. Okay. And this is where I want to start off at. Ashley Capital. Okay, so just a backstory on Flint. Flint used to be a home to GM and Ford. So that's why they're calling it the Buick City. But it kind of went downhill. One of the plants shut down. A lot of people were moving out, and hey, if there's no jobs here, I worked for the Motor City or the motor company, I'm just gonna leave and try to find another job. Some people stayed, but their population decreased. It really went to a decline back when the water crisis really happened. And I guess they shed light on it in 2014. Anywho, the water crisis affected Flint. And of course, you have these manufacturing companies, they jumped ship after the water crisis happened. And actually, the only reason why they actually investigated the water crisis is because I believe it was GM. GM discovered that their cars were rusting. Not because the people were sick. The cars were rusting. Cars coming, they paint them and come off the assembly line. They were actually rusting. So that's why they started looking into the water crisis, or they shed light on the water crisis. Okay, so anyway, just the backstory if you guys don't know. Now, this guy named Quincy Murphy, I just want to share his picture with you. Quincy Murphy, he's on the Flint City Council member. I don't know if you guys could see if that's a really good picture of him, but he's on the city council team, and he received $11,000 from Ashley Capital, and he also received like another close to $5,000 from Ashley Capital. Don't know what he did with the $5,000, but the $11,000 he purchased a lawnmower, and he claims that, oh, I'm purchasing this lawnmower to mow the lawn because there's a lot of blight in my area. Okay, so that's what this story is about. Okay, so $72 million tax break approved for the Buick City. Questions remain about gifts to the Flint City Council members. Now, the other city council member, she received about $1,500, but they didn't report it. They were supposed to report it on their, I forget what it's called, but they were supposed to report it, and they didn't. Only reason why we know about it is because council member Tanya Burns ended up exposing it. Okay. And she called them out, and they actually got mad at her. Okay. So $72 million, they gave this tax break to approve for Buick City. Questions remain about the gifts in Flint Council. This is for a massive redevelopment plan for the old Buick City site, and has been given its biggest boost to date. A promise of $72 million in future capture taxes can be used to prepare building site in the Flint Commerce Center. Okay, the council approved the Brownfield tax plan in 5-0 vote during its meeting on Monday, August the 14th. But 3 members of the council abstained from voting. Okay, so 3 members saying, hey, I don't know if I want to vote on this, only because we know you've been paying off 2 other council members. We don't know what the other 3 received. 2 of them, we can confirm that they received some checks. Okay, and that was back in August the 14th of last year. Okay, so Ashley Capital, they're a major developer. They develop like industrial real estate throughout the country, and they're listed, if you go to their website, they're listed throughout the nation in maybe 6 or 7 different states, and they have properties everywhere. Okay, so they're not a small company. Okay, now, 2 of the council members with the ties of organizations, they received their gifts. Ashley broke ground in June on the first building in the Commerce Center on 20 acres of Buick City that is purchased. Another thing that we could talk about purchasing, reason why I say Dalton is not as bad as Flint, because Flint right now is going through what you call when they move the people out, they're moving people out and to put upper and higher class people in the neighborhood. I don't want to say just Black people. I'm there. It's like a social economical issue in Flint. So they have a lot of blight in Flint, and they have not did anything to the city of Flint, but instead you're able to purchase these property or land for cheap. And so these big developers will come in and say, oh, I got some cheap land, let me develop. And then you bring people back in, higher paying jobs or whatever to the city. And you kick the poor people out. Okay. So that's what Flint is going through right now. They got them basically moved out. The people that's just staying there, they're probably annoyed with them, but That's their city. Anyway, so they have 273 acres to expand the development with additional 7 buildings and 3.5 million square feet of space for light industrial manufacturing or distribution. It says company officials have said the project would not go forward without the brownfield tax plan approved by the council and without the approval by the state of materials management site plan for the site, spelling out how it could prepare sites that were contaminated by PFAS. I don't know if you guys know about that. That's because of, I don't know if General Motors was accused of that, but they had contaminants. Okay. PFAS contaminants and other pollutions in decades of Buick City built cars for General Motors. Okay. I believe, and I believe General Motors had to pay some type of hefty fine to clean that up. Anyway, so you got $72 million in tax abatement at Ashley Capital. Now, this guy, and let me just share, this is the building that this first building that they built, okay, in Flint. This is the Commerce Center. You think, hey, we're gonna, and there's brownfield tax plan everywhere. I mean, it's not like just segregated to Flint. They have it in Detroit as well. If you are a developer, usually you come to the table with to the city council. Yes, I want to develop in your area. Okay, yes, you could develop in our area. We will give you a an abatement on taxes, but you must do X, Y, and Z for the community. Okay. Some of your jobs, if you're planning to build, 20% of your jobs should go to Flint residents. That's what normally happens. They did it in Detroit. They normally do it in every city. That's what city council is for. Yeah, you could come in, even Sheldon Neely, that's the mayor in Flint. That's what normally happens when you have a larger development, want to develop in their area, and Flint is 4.5% in unemployment, higher than normal in the nation. So, and as it stands today, usually what they would do is say, okay, yeah, we will give you tax abatement, but we want you to dedicate all the jobs, or 20% or even 30% of those jobs must go to Flint residents. No, they didn't do that. They didn't do that. Nobody said Sheldon Neely, which is the mayor, or these 5 city councilmen that voted yes, said, yeah, you got to give our people some jobs. And if you're working at a construction job, I used to be, before I actually got hired as an engineer, I did a lot of jobs. So this is why I always say, oh, I used to be such and such. Hey, I was a safety, it was not a safety engineer, but it's like one of those people that just stand by and watch the whole. If you were doing the job, I just would stand by, make sure that you are working safe. Those type of jobs don't require a lot of skill set. You just gotta, be trained to be in the field. Okay, you gotta take some type of test, but usually it's a day-long CBT training. And you can make, back then it was like $13-14 an hour. Today might be $17-18 an hour. So I'm just sitting there with my high vis vest on and a hard hat, watching people. Those type of jobs, and they usually need a job for every or safety person for every 3 to 4 or 5 people to observe, to make sure, okay, we holding the sign. Okay, these are low skill jobs, but still pay pretty decent. Okay, nobody said we're gonna give these jobs to Flint residents. Nobody said that. Instead, they just voted the tax abatement in. Now, now this is what he said, explaining why he received this $11,000 and not nothing else. You guys, don't hate me. Don't hate me after you listen to this. You gonna be like, you remember Amanda Seals that we was listening to? Like, oh, stab me in the heart. Like, this is grueling. This is really grueling. I don't understand this. I actually I don't understand how he got elected. I really don't. But this guy sits on the city council board.
Thank you so much. I've been waiting to talk about this situation. And I had started earlier about this. When Ashley Capital first came to Councilman Murphy, one of the things, and I think Eva Worthy was in the first meeting, we talked about a community benefits agreement. Coming up with a community benefits agreement where they come and we agree to some things in the community. One thing they didn't want to promise was that whatever companies come to Flint wasn't able to guarantee the job. So Ashley couldn't guarantee what the companies to give the residents of the city of Flint jobs or whatever. So
we know that. We know they're building commercial properties, okay? So we know, hey, they're building commercial properties to rent out. So we know that you can't guarantee what another company does, but you definitely can guarantee if you're doing construction work that 20 to 30, 40% of your labor work goes to Flint residents. This is why some city council members don't need to be city council members. This is just, to me, just common sense. I mean, I never sat on no board or anything like that. But if I'm thinking of my people, I know my people is probably want to work or want to have a job, or, they want to, have some type of money. I know if you living in your residence, Joe Schmo down the street, he been struggling to find a job. Yeah, let's guarantee some good jobs on this construction. Since they're building 9 buildings, they're proposing to build 9 buildings. That's 2 to 3 years, maybe even longer. You got 9 buildings, even longer, or 4 to 5 years of guaranteed jobs for the Flint residents. Let me know if I'm going in the wrong direction. I mean, this is just common sense. But you said, oh, I know they couldn't guarantee job. They didn't want to do that. Then you should have said guarantee on the construction site. You want this? They're getting cheap land. Then they basically built for free $72 million in tax abatement. They basically built these structures for free. It's really nothing to it. I don't know if you guys ever seen industrial building be put up. It's really nothing to it. They lay some concrete. They put some the metal around it, then put some panels on it. They might have some brick layer. That one didn't. So they put some fake panels on the side. And then it's a flat roof. The flat roof probably the one that's cost the most, because you got to make sure you have the supports for the roof. But really, it's really nothing to it. They probably got a couple of toilets in there, and it's just an empty room. So I don't know if you guys ever seen it. So they got over on Flint, really. Okay, they got some cheap land and they got over on. Anyway.
Still working on a community benefits agreement, so that's not off the table. That was one of the things. The second thing that me and Ashley Capital talked, because I'm a lobbyist, when it comes down to when you come into our city and you want to invest in our city, and then you asking for $72 million, what you go give to us, what you gonna help do in our community. The second thing that Councilman Murphy talked to them about was the brownfield development.
And just to let you guys know, he's talking about himself in the third person. He said Councilmember Murphy. That's him. Okay, so he's not talking about nobody else. He's talking about himself.
Can you include a geographic area that not only included the Buick City site, because a lot of the community, a lot of the third ward is blight. I have the highest concentrated area when it deals with blight. So they said, what is your concern, Quincy? I said, blight is my concern. This is really what I want to focus on. But when we was having those conversations, it was like, okay, Quincy, if we do blight, what can we do? Can you give us no? That never that. So don't believe the hype when people say that.
Can you do blight? This is why I said I wonder why and how he was elected as a council member. These people elected this guy to represent them, and he can't even talk. I know I talk broken English sometimes, but geez, like, are you serious right now?
Quincy Murphy was trying to broker a deal. What Quincy Murphy was trying to do was see what we could do to bring some support and help to the third ward, to the city of Flint. So when it comes down to the lawnmower situation, how did the lawnmower come together? I've been working with Habitat for a long time. We done got a neighborhood grant that I got for $25,000 through the Community Foundation. It went through Habitat, a $10,000 grant through Flint brand that Habitat got. I still got money in Habitat for Humanity that I have not spent. I got a $5,000 grant. And when you look at the work that I've done in Dewey Park, I have grant money that's still out there that I have not even spent when it comes down to doing work in the community. So if I wanted to go and get a lawnmower, I could have used some of the grant money that I still have that I have not even spent to buy a lawnmower. So when the lawnmower came, I said, okay, and not only the lawnmower, let's talk about the River Park stuff. Because they originally in October came to me and wanted to do some Christmas stuff for some kids. So they donated a whole bunch of Christmas gifts to some kids. So they came to me and they said, Councilman Murphy, what can we do to help support the community? We want to give gifts to kids. So I went to River Park out in the projects that we call on Carpenter Road, and I went and had Daryl look for some kids, and we found some kids and we gave them some Christmas gifts. So let's start there. They started.
So this whole spiel, he just incriminated himself. You said that this Ashley Capital, which was going up before the board to get this $72 million tax abatement. You guys had to vote on that. And you're saying, oh, I got all these gifts from him. You know, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And then you voted for this tax abatement. Does anybody see a problem with this? The federales is like, this nigga is stupid. Like, he done told, he gave us his whole case. Like, this is the most stupidest shit I ever heard. But I'll let him proceed in talking.
Started giving donations then the lawnmower. I said, okay, well, what shovel ready program? We just did a $85,000 grant through the Sylvester Broom Center, the mini pitch that we just did, that we worked in partnership with Habitat. So what I was doing was looking for shovel-ready programs that y'all can channel some money through. What I knew we needed in the third ward was lawnmowers to cut grass, because all I'm getting since I've been city councilman is complaints about grass. You call the city of Flint to get the grass cut, you might get some support. You call the land bank and get some support. You might get somebody to come out there and cut grass. What I'm lobbying for and what Quincy go work on and go continue to work on and go move forward is becoming independent and creating our own third ward blight elimination program. You gonna see me with some bulldozers. You gonna see me with some trucks. I ain't stopped yet. So when it comes down to a lawnmower, I don't need no lawnmower for my yard. I got a push lawnmower that I cut my grass. My grass ain't even big enough to get no zero-turn lawnmower to have to cut my grass, so I don't need no lawnmower for myself. I already got a zero-turn lawnmower that I'm using. I used it today that they did not pay for. It's on the flat now because I ran over some glass, but I still, they lawnmower that they gave me is gonna help move the community, and it ain't come to me, it's came through Habitat for Humanity, so I didn't personally get no lawnmower for me, so I didn't have to disclose nothing because it didn't personally come to me.
Thank you, Mr. Murphy. Anyone else on the first item? Murphy.
Thank you. When I looked at the,
So he's mad at Tanya Burns. This is the lady with the glasses because she exposed him. Okay, so that's why he got this. I ain't get no lawnmower because it didn't come to me. I don't need one. You did receive the lawnmower, and once it was found out, it's your lawnmower. It's nobody else's lawnmower. The lawnmower is in your name. It's nobody else's. Now, blight, these are city properties. You guys all, what is it? 9 of them could come up with the resolution of how you could stop blight. This is what they do in Detroit. If they, in any city, Warren, Detroit, if they find your grass is too high, the houses need to, they put a bid out. They put a bid out and say, who's going to cut this grass? And if you actually own the property, they just send you the bill. But the city actually takes care of this, not the individual council members saying, oh, I'm concerned about blight. Well, that's what city council should be doing. If you're concerned about blight, you need to be putting up, okay, let's get a resolution together, or let's bid out some contracts for companies to come in to tear down these houses and to cut the grass. What will be the problem with that? That's the right way you should do it. But no, you're accepting $11,000 gift. Actually, you got $11,000 check. I'm still trying to figure out how come Habitat, and he said he used the word funnel the money through. How come you gave $11,000 to Habitat to Humanity and they gave you a lawnmower? Does that make any sense? And he used the word, I'm trying to find some, places, that existing places that we could funnel this money through. So you admitting to funnel to launder money, your laundering money scheme. He just admitted to it. We're going to keep on and listen to him. It really gets brutal, you guys.
Thank you, Mr. Murphy. Anyone else on the first item? Murphy.
thank you. When I looked at the,
And did you hear a couple of people saying, oh yeah, go ahead, Ward? That's why he got elected, because they promoting this BS or supporting this BS.
what concerned me a little bit when when this started coming up, what concerned me was when I looked at the list of all of the organizations and the people, because I don't know who all they talked to as far as the colleagues, and I only saw 2 of us, or 3, including Eric Mays, Sheldon Neely, and Karen Weaver. I was concerned a little when I didn't see no other colleague on there as far as contribution of anything, projects, or whatever you guys had going on in your ward. So one of my thoughts was, did they even reach out to you guys and see if it was something that they can do, or did y'all have a cause that they could support? So when I saw that I didn't see anybody else's name on there, that concerned me, and part of me thought, well, was they trying to support, trying to get a vote, but that was never discussed, so I didn't assume that. I just thought maybe they just wanted to support some stuff in the community. And I didn't know what kind of conversation they had, because I know they've been trying to reach out to some of the colleagues. I know my colleague in the 5th Ward said she wasn't really interested in meeting with them personally. She wanted to meet with them in an open setting, so maybe that opportunity didn't come. But it did concern me.
So you basically violated the Meetings Act. This is the problem. You have Ashley Capital, a major development company, and they propose to build 9 buildings in your area or just in the city. Hey, but we want you to vote yes on this $72 million tax abatement. And so they're not knowing what these council members, what their thoughts are. So they're just reaching out to individual. How can we win your support? Oh, I'm concerned about blight. Oh, I want to give my kids candy. Oh, there's some kids in my area that need toys. So they're fulfilling all these requests. And I'm talking about Ashley Capital. And it's against the law. This is why he's stupid. He needs to read the legislation. He's not up to date. And I believe I talked with Councilmember Burns. She is saying that it's written in their resolution as well. You are taking gifts from a company and they're up for a vote on these taxes. You just blatantly, openly did a bribery. This was bribery, and it was a stupid bribe. Like, this was a stupid bribe. You got a lawnmower, for Christ's sakes. It's a commercial lawnmower because it was $11,000, one of those riding lawnmowers, you guys. It was like, and they got the gears on the side instead of like, it has the gears on the side. That's the lawnmower that he received. And you're saying that I'm worried about blight in my area, so I'm going to go around and clean up the city. No, you have enough money in your budget to clean up the city. You don't need to accept gifts from a development company to clean up the city because they have enough money. And we're going to talk about that.
As a council, that I didn't see other people's names on the list of contribution. What can I do about that? That's beyond me, but I know I'm willing to work with them and whoever, not just them, anybody. We got some other projects. Catholic Charity came to me with some tiny homes that they're getting ready to build for veterans in the 3rd Ward. I'm excited about that. The new gas station on Carpenter Road that's getting ready to build 50 homes. I'm excited about that in the 3rd Ward. Sylvester Broom Empowerment Center that's getting ready to build a new building. I'm excited about that. And there's a lot of moving parts in the 3rd Ward when it comes down to projects that I am looking forward to working with people. So I'm not going to shut down no support or no help when it comes down to the need of the 3rd Ward, because I believe that I have the worstest ward out of all the 9 wards, and my ward need all the help that it can get. Now, whether they were trying to get somebody support or whatever, we never had that discussion or whatever, and whether they gave the money towards the lawnmower or not, was I going to support them? Possibly, yes. What did concern me was the $72 million. That's why I went to the Eagle meeting at Metropolitan, because I wanted to go with an open mind to hear, was Eagle going to tell me something, or I was going to have this aha moment where, oh my God, y'all want to disclose and everything, because I'm concerned
that's exactly why you shouldn't accept anything. This is why they don't allow people that have an elected official, allow them to accept gifts from companies like that. This is exactly why. And if you do accept a gift, it's supposed to be disclosed over a certain amount. But I believe Michigan, let me just pull it up. I believe you can't just accept any. I don't think they allow any money to be disclosed. Political contribution. Let me see. Legislation. Let me share this with you. Now, and this is Michigan law. This is not, something that was just brought up. You are elected official. You need to, I'm pretty sure they have a city council attorney that they could consult with. Hey, Ashley Capital is offering me this $11,000, which is not, it's not a change in a bucket. They're offering me $11,000. Is it wrong for me to accept this? And they would have been like, yeah. Okay. Let me just share this with you. It says such public office, agent, servant, or employee shall have been qualified or shall take his seat any gift, gratuity, money, property, or other valuable thing, the intent or purpose of which is to influence the act, vote, opinion, decision, or judgment of such public office or officer, agent, servant, or employee, or his action, or any matter, questions, cause, or proceeding, which may be pending or may be law, be brought before him in his public capacity, or the proposed intent of which is to influence any act or omission relating to any public duty or such officer, agent, servant, or employee shall be guilty of a felony. You had a vote. Gifts, gratuity, property, money, any valuable thing. If it decides or persuades your decision or to determine, hey, I'm going to vote for this or I'm not, usually $11,000. Oh yeah, I'll vote for that. I'm going to vote for this. $11,000. We'll say, yeah, I'm going to vote for it. I'm just being real. You get $11,000. Oh, you up for a vote? Yeah, I'll vote for it. Or you could be an asshole and vote against the resolution, and then they're gonna be like, "Oh, what happened? I gave you 11." Then they'll expose you. Yeah, I gave Chawanne Burns $11,000 to vote for this resolution, and she didn't. And they were like, "Oh, that's a federal crime." Come on now, am I going off in the wrong direction? I guess these people, and Quincy Murphy is not the only person that have accepted gifts from Ashley Capital. Liddell, I believe her name is Liddell Lewis, right? I believe her name is Liddell Lewis. I got to go back to my I have to go back to my notes. But anyway, usually he wasn't the only one, so both of these people are corrupt. Okay. So Quincy Jones, he's not that smart of an individual. You hear he tried to explain, I didn't see nothing wrong, or I didn't know nothing was wrong with what I did. That's basically, but just because, what is it called? Ignorance of the law doesn't mean you get to break the law. You actually broke the law, and it's a felony. It's written, this is Michigan legislation that I'm showing you. Now, there's another legislation within Flint City, but this is Michigan legislation. It's not something that they made up or something, oh, it's a moral thing. No, it's against the law what you did. Anyway, you guys put it in the chat. Let me know what you think. Okay. I just wanted to shed light on the first council member. So you know he's dirty. That's just $11,000. And I'm saying just because as the story progresses, I'm just waiting for more information. We're going to find out that they're funneling, like, Quincy Murphy said, they're funneling money from the opera funds to their own personal bank account, their own personal nonprofit. We would say that nonprofit. Does this sound familiar? They must not be on, or they must not have read anything about Tiffany Henyard, because she's going through the same thing, and the FBI is on her heels. She has to show up before the grand jury. And what's she gonna say? I'm not for sure. Oh, I didn't know. She put $10,000 of the township money, which is federal funds, into her own personal nonprofit. And they're doing the same thing. But like I said, Tiffany Henyard don't got shit on Flint. Flint is gangster with it. They putting hundreds of $1,000s to their nonprofit organizations. But we're going to talk about that. Okay. Further down the line, you guys let me know what you think. I'm going to get to some of your comments. Kennard, you're saying it's more cost effective to hire migrants because they are cheaper and not entitled to do the same benefits as the U.S. Yeah, and they probably just happy to get a job. But like I said, you even if you hire Flint residents, they could have, I forgot what word he was using, but they could have figured out, hey, let's try to hire some of our people. Some of our people to bring up the community. Hey, we bring in, this is called economic development. Companies comes in, start developing. You're going to hire 20 to 30% of our people. I think Detroit made them hire 40%. Some cities, they don't play. You're going to hire our people. And then if it's a residential place, you're going to put our people in there. You're going to dedicate 20 to 30% to what is it called? Low income housing. We don't care if it's high-fluting housing. You're going to put some of our residents in there because we have a housing crisis. So, but these city council members and Sheldon Neely, I could blame really Sheldon Neely because he's the mayor. He should have came up, they're leading. He's supposed to be for the people. And he didn't do that. None of the residents probably got hired for this construction job, which is sad. Anyway, Orbs, does Flint have a working middle class with those skill sets? I'm pretty sure they do. Like I said, when you are in construction, I'm not talking about lifting the forklift or driving the rig or anything like that. This is just like a safety job. Hey, I got a high vis vest on. I'm holding a stop sign. If it's dangerous, I'm looking out for, am I my brother's keeper? That's what they used to say at the plant. I am my brother's keeper. Hey, where's your safety glasses on? Where's your safety glasses at? If they need to wet the road with that calcium, I think it's calcium, whatever, so dust won't be flying. That could have been a company. Everybody know how to drive a truck. You got a driver's license. So those type of jobs. I'm not talking about like lifting the rigs up or anything like that. I'm talking about like labor intensive job. And most of the times at a construction site, it's labor intensive. I'm pretty sure they have foremans. This is an industrial, um, what is it called? City. I'm pretty sure they have. I'm sorry, I see a car that's not familiar pulling in my driveway. I'm pretty sure that they have a foremans, ex-foremans, whatever. This is, like I said, this is an industrial city. They have people there that used to work at the plant. I'm pretty sure they do. Even though their population decreased significantly, they used to have 150,000 people there. Now it's probably like 80,000. But this is what they should have been champion for your residents. You can't just say, oh, we don't have enough skilled labor workforce. Well, that's what skilled labor workforce is for. You go into have wholesome jobs, get training on the job. Most, if you look at Detroit, and I always keep on using Detroit as an example, they have on the job training. They incentivize companies to offer on job training. You know, that's something that they could have done, but or champion for. Is he talking about cutting grass on vacant lawns or actual residential land? I don't know what he's talking about, I'll tell you. I really don't know what he was talking about. Calandria. Hey, there, everyone. Miss Burns, I hope everyone is doing great. Now, I wanted to speak on here. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, and you are right about our city. They will make sure our streets are together. Yeah, like Detroit, they're not playing about the blight. They will send you a bill. I own the piece of land in Warren, and I literally just purchased the land, and they cut it. I purchased it on May 1st. I guess they cut it on May 3rd. May 20th, I got a damn bill for them cutting my lot. I didn't tell you to cut my lot. Like, you cut my lot. But they don't play. They're real serious about the blight situation in Detroit. I don't know what happened, you guys. Hopefully you're still here. Okay. We're going to get to our next story. I'm not going to hold you guys up. Yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what happened to it. But anyway, so this whole thing with pro-Palestine protests going across the nation, and they're mainly at these universities. These universities, they're going out and assaulting people, assaulting Jewish people, stopping them from getting to class. Then they're actually beating people. People are getting violently assaulted at these protests. Now, I don't think this is the I'm calling them kids, but the students. I don't think it's them. I think it's people from, oh, there's a protest. This is an opportunity for us to beat up people. I think that's what is happening here. Okay. They're going around and saying, hey, I have the opportunity to beat you up. So This is just in UCLA. This happened yesterday. Protesters are demanding a variety of supplies, including zip ties, gas masks, knee pads, and lotion. This is the list of their demands. Okay. And lotion. In a Google document obtained by Fox News, protesters listed out their needs, including vegan foods and hot food for lunch. So you got some bougie protesters. They don't eat meat and they want hot food. You're protesting. Usually protesters bring their own food. Am I going in the wrong directions? Usually protesters bring their own food, but these fools didn't have their own food. And then the classes have been canceled after the protests turned violent. Now, this is from ABC News, and this is just.
Halfway through the quad. Look at this. Somebody is being beaten. Somebody is being beaten with a stick and punches in the middle of the lawn. Somebody is being badly beaten at the bottom of that brawl right there.
These are individuals. Now, let's classify them. Now, it could be two types of individuals. Individuals that actually go to these schools and they have some stupid ass degree. Okay. Maybe I want to learn about African American studies. I'm studying psychiatry as it relates to the Middle East conflict. You know, they have useless degrees. So they probably have some type of useless degrees. So those are one type of people. You won't see no engineers, somebody that got to really study and make the grade. You're not going to see them out there. They're not protesting. And then you have the other individuals that they're not on the campus. They're not students at this university. They just decided they're not students nowhere. They just decided to show up because they like to cause, shit. They want to beat up on somebody. Okay. Pro-Palestinian people. These are pro-Palestinian people. They want ceasefire. Okay, you want to stop the violence, but you want to commit harm on U.S. citizens. Do you guys see the irony in that? You want to ceasefire, but hey, I want to beat your ass if you don't. I thought you don't want to have this violent exchange.
And you're seeing these scuffles break out one after another. Lots of very heavy sticks, very heavy barricades, scooters, all types of things being employed to inflict harm on the other side here.
So you guys let me know what you think about that. Now, this is the urgent needs. This is USCL Palestine solidarity. These are the needs that they want. Please ensure the donations are BDS compliant. What the hell is BDS compliant? The Boy Cat app can help with this. urgent. Headlamps. For what? So you could go around and make sure you're assaulting the right people, just Jewish people and people that's anti-Hamas. That you're trying to identify people in the dark. I'm not for sure. So they want headlamps, airsoft goggles. Why? A gas mask. Why would we give you gas masks if the police use gas to disperse the area? We want your ass to leave. We don't want you to just still stay so you could have. They trying to launch a strike and they want you to provide these. They want you to provide the resources for their strike on U.S. American soil. Does this make any sense? Skater helmets. So when the police come in or the military, you want to make sure if they swinging their baton, they're not hitting you in the head. No, you don't need no helmets. Look at. Did you see those guys wielding these poles or wherever they got these poles from? Wielding these poles and beating people with it. They didn't have helmets. The people you were attacking. Shield. You want a shield, so you want to be armed like the police. They want to be armed like the police. Now, I know who made this up. Some 21-year-old idiot, a stupid person. A kid made this list up. Oh, we should ask for gas masks, skaters, and helmets. They shouldn't have on, and we want you to provide it because we're protesting on your dime. Like, come on. You guys, you can't make this up. Knee and elbow pads. So you want to be fully protected. You want a wood for the barrier, rain ponchos, canopies, utility gloves. And why? Okay, so you put utility gloves without reinforcement knuckles. Who does that? Who says this? So this person, like I said, is a dummy that wrote this list up. Somebody that's probably 21-year-old, never had to do a damn thing in their life. They think they have the right to say, hey, I'm going to protest and it's going to be on your dime and you're going to provide all the materials for my protest. Stupid. Like literally stupid. Super bright flashlights with strobe charge. Why? And you want them to charge it. Umbrellas. Medical is EpiPens, non-steroid inhalers. Okay. I guess because when they launch off the gas, you know, what is that called? That spray that they burn, tear gas. You want them to help them breathe? I'm not for sure. Organizational bins. Why? Hot food for lunch. Important. No, just take your ass home. You could get a hot meal if you take your ass home. That's where the stoves are. You want to protest, beat people up, and be armed. I'm surprised they didn't ask for any some weaponry. They didn't ask for that. And then you want us to feed you. Gluten-free fruit. And you want your particular. You want hot lunch and gluten-free lunch. Like this is unreal. This is unreal. You want hot lunch and gluten-free. No packaged food. Somebody is hoity-toity. Like they don't eat packaged. You want ice? Like really? You want ice? I'm telling you, a kid wrote this up, and I'm saying kid, maybe 20, 21-year-old, rich kid, never had to fend for the day of their life. They don't even know what a real protest is. Like, really. Can you imagine back in the 70s when they was protesting against the Vietnam War and they wrote out a list of demands, they would have been like, if you don't get your ass off our campus, probably half of them. And you know what? And when they protested, I don't know, I can't remember if any of those things turned violent, but this is crazy. No coffee, no bagels, no bananas, no nuts. Fill out this form if you are interested in coordinating a meal. Logistics, sleeping pads, AA, AAA, CD batteries, ropes, zip ties, electric solar powered generator, lotion, Aquaphor. What are you guys doing? You want lotion and Aquaphor? Sound like something going on. Something else is going on besides protesting. You want lotion and Aquaphor. And you guys, I don't know. They didn't say Vaseline. You know how much Aquaphor costs? That's what I said. Some hoity-toity person wrote this up. Never protested a day in their life. They are expecting to protest, commit these violent assaults against people. Some of the people that they're committing these violent assaults against is the people, or are the people that attend the school. And then you want, I don't know where you sent this list to. I guess the student body, the governing body of the school, and you want them to provide this information so you could prolong the protest, so you can have some type of way to fight back. Not even fight back, just to attack people. So when the police are called, you want to put up a stance against the police. This is a problem. I think you do have the right to protest, but this kind of crap, it shouldn't be allowed. Anyway, I hear Joe Biden signed a directive. It says the directive signed by Biden last month effectively allowed Palestinian immigrants who would otherwise have to leave the United States to stay without the threat of deportation for at least 18 months. That's how he's going to help them. So if they're over here, they could stay over here for 18 months. So they could go to all the universities and beat up people. I think it's a conspiracy, really. I don't like to talk conspiracy theories, but I really think it's conspiracy. You know, you have this thing going on, nothing to do with the U.S. Then you're ushering people in over the border. Palestinians, and I can't just say Palestinians, pro-Hamas Palestinians, they don't like Americans. They don't like us. They don't like Black Americans. They don't like gay Americans. They don't like white Americans. They don't like Mexican Americans. They do not like you. And you got this open border policy and you usher them in. You don't want to shame Israel for doing what they're doing, I guess protecting themselves. I guess at this point, they're just, doing whatever. You give them aid and then you give aid to the Palestinians and you said, oh, here's a pen day. But you haven't made a stance against what Israel is doing. But you want to say, oh, and so you got these mad as hell Palestinians because you haven't made a stance. And you said, oh, they could stay over here for 18 more months without the threat of deportation. Does that make any sense? Because I don't know. conspiracy theory. I don't know. I guess he's trying to create more chaos before election time. You trying to bring down the US even more. And I'm specifically talking about Joe Biden and his administration. What else would it be? You could say, oh, it's Trump. Trump is not in office. It's Joe Biden's in office. If he wants to file a resolution, he can. He can. And I'm saying a resolution, executive order. If he wants to file an executive order, if he can, he could stop this right now. And he refuses to. So anyway, let me see what you guys put in the chat. Many of these people, Lexi says, many of these people don't attend the schools. They are shipped in. Exactly. They're shipped in from they got busloads of people. I don't know if you guys remember when I showed that Google protest. They coordinated from across the country. You had people flying in from New York to sit in somebody's office that's in San Francisco, California. Come on now. I read something on the internet saying George Soros had something to do with it. George Soros is flying these people in to cause chaos. Maybe not. I'm not for sure how true that is, but it's really ridiculous. I don't understand that. Right now, it doesn't make any sense. Orb said, but if they break the law and get convicted, they have to serve their time and then get deported. That's normally what happens. But if they're in an asylum seeker or safe haven, asylum seeker city, it protects them from getting deported. That's why most of them are going to Chicago, New York, California. Those cities allow them to, live like the Wild Wild West and commit crimes, and it protects them from ICE. Tia, you are awesome. Gentrification. Yeah, I knew. I forget what the word was called. For some reason, I always forget that word. Sergeant King said, how about going back home to help their folks? You think that's where they would go? No, they want to turn American, whatever they want to turn. They want to make American just like Gaza, the Gaza Strip, where nobody wants to come over here. So they're trying to wreak havoc on America, on American soil. If they were black, it would have been stopped already. Well, I don't know, because we can't say that, because BLM, they was acting crazy. BLM, they gave BLM rioters a pass. Oh, they feel so sorry for them. They went through slavery. No, they didn't go through slavery. These dudes didn't go through slavery. Maybe 3-4 generations ago went through slavery. So you feel sorry for them. They let them have a pass. The worst part is our government is complicit in all this. Exactly. Joe Biden and the crazy. I can't even blame the Democrats, because they signed that bill to send $62 million to Ukraine, and I believe it was $15 or $16 million to Israel, and some odd dollars to billion. I'm saying million, but these are in the billions. Some odd dollars to send to the Palestine or the Gaza Strip. And we could say, oh, it's just Democrats. No, it's Republicans. It's all those people that voted for this. And they still haven't came up with a resolution or a bill to close the borders. They sending our money, our tax dollars overseas, and you can't even stop simple protests. And this is not a simple protest. You can't stop violent behavior. People, and if we find out most of those people that probably don't go to none of the universities was shipped here, they probably are not U.S. citizens. They probably not. They just came over here on a boat, and then they say, oh, I'm trying to get America to change their mind. Well, you can't change nobody's mind by beating them up. If anything, they will get scared and might turn on you. Remember what happened in 9/11? I was high security clearance. My name is Chawanne. Nothing to do with Muslim or anything, but it was real ethnic. So every time I flew, they had to do an extra baggage check on me. I had to went through a extra security screening, and I had a TWIC card. Just imagine that. I already went through the fingerprint and high security clearance. I was screened literally every time I flew. Anyway, Sergeant King, they are shutting FJB real, or they're shouting FJB real loud. Yeah, they are. They don't like Joe Biden for real. They don't. Okay. You guys, I really appreciate every single last one of you. Thank you for tuning in. Tomorrow is our evening show, so stay tuned for tomorrow around 8:30 between those times. And you guys have a great rest of your day. I am sending all my good to you. I will talk to you soon.